morning and welcome to Morning Delight, that program that serves you breakfast in bed every Saturday morning without even leaving your bed to the kitchen. Yeah, my name is Praise Audio and I'm here to bring you so much from the world of sport, entertainment and the latest happening in the society. And also we discuss issues bothering the society and how to go about them. Yeah, you're welcome to the program this morning. Well, to kickstart the program is Words of Wisdom. Let's see some inspirational quotes to start our morning. Alright, that was some inspirational quotes there from Words of Wisdom. They help in our daily activities. Up to the next is Fit and Fresh. And what do we have there? We have swimming. Let's see Fit and Fresh.
Looking for fun, low impact way to boost your fitness and beat the heat? Swimming is the perfect solution. Whether you are a seasoned professional or a beginner, swimming offers a full body workout and is easy on the joints. Despite all the fun that comes with swimming, it is very important to note that you must first perfect the techniques of swimming, especially in a deep water or a pool before engaging in it. Here are some tips for swimming beginners and learners. Take lessons. Instructors' guidance can improve skills very fast. Start in a shallow water or pool. Learn proper breathing techniques. Practice breathing exercises. Use swimming aids like floaties, kick boat while working in your swimming skills.
Swimming is very important exercise for the body. Swimming is more or less exercises the whole body. It's a therapy for the whole body. The smaller part of the body is working, the breathing control and everything. Even doctors recommend swimming to patients of all those paralysis or other things. Swimming open door to so many opportunities. I can tell you for free, if you are a good swimmer, you have so many opportunities to work in so many places. So it's an opportunity for education, work, any other things. So, and you know, swimming is life. So some persons, people drown, and this, if you know how to swim, you can't drown. And we know that the 75% of the world is surrounded by water.
Join many others today as we splash into the world of swimming, experiencing a more healthy lifestyle.
Alright, we are on to the guest segment this morning and we'll be discussing embracing open distance learning. Doing this with me is Oluwase James Osase, the state coordinator, National Teachers Institute, Edo State Office, Benin City. Before we meet him, let's see his picture frame. You're welcome to the studio.
Okay, thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, welcome, sir. Okay, so let's go into detail of today. What is open distance learning all about?
Okay, thank you. As you look at the words open and distant learning, it's all about an educational approach that help learners to learn anywhere, anytime, and it's also the entry is very easy in the sense of the approach. It makes it flexible. There is no traditional classroom arrangement when it comes to open and distant learning.
So what way is open distance learning different from conventional universities?
Okay, it's different from conventional universities in many ways. I think I will state by saying in the area of admission requirement. You see, in the conventional, you have a lot of the JAM cutoff is emphasized, the age limit in some courses is emphasized, and there are barriers in that area in terms of the cutoff. But in terms of the ODL, it's open, and there are lower barriers in terms of different age limits are accepted into open and distant learning. Then not only that, in the area of the presence and time, in the conventional, you need to be on the campus full time on the campus, and lectures are fixed. But while in the open and distant learning system, you are separated with distance from your facilitators or the instructors in that regard. You don't need to go to fixed classroom settings. The attendance are not strict on that aspect, so that's why it's open. Then not only that, you also describe that in terms of teaching methods, instructors lead in the conventional. Okay. They determine the classes, the pace at which you go. While in the teaching method for the open and distant learning, this learner-led. You need self-discipline. You need to discipline yourself and to be acquainted with your materials, because the materials are also written in self-instructed version. Then not only that, we also have what we call the learning materials. The learning materials most of the time is primarily for lectures in the conventional, while in open and distant learning, you have what we call prepackaged course modules that tells you the objective from the beginning. It gives you the assignments, and they also give activities, activity-based. Okay. So it's interactive. The course materials are written interactive means. Then not only that, when you talk about open and distant learning also, you talk about cost and logistics. Then in the conventional, you see, you have to go for full time, you have to be in the campus, you have to get accommodation. Then while in the open and distant learning, you don't need to be on campus, so that cost of accommodation is reduced. The only thing you need to do is you not pay in terms of data for you to get yourself equipped in the course of learning. So these are some of the areas that open and distant learning differs from conventional learning process.
Okay, so you are a state coordinator, and to have even achieved this over the years, you must have been long in the educational sector.
Yes.
So what can you say, or why should people take advantage of distance learning in your terms?
Okay, thank you very much. Having been also in an institution that practice open and distant learning, I want to say, number one, it is convenient and it's flexible. There are no jam cutoff, for example, that will put the bottlenecks for you, for you not to, and the age limits. Then not only that, like earlier mentioned, it's cost effective, with which offers quality education at lower cost. Then not only that, in the open and distant, you see, it breeds self-discipline in the course of your learning. Then you also develop digital skills, because you are going to be interacting. In that process, you are building digital skills. So it's a very good one. And if you look at it, it's also designed for career upskilling. Because most of the people who come for open and distant learning, many a time they are working. and now they are learning, and it's like on the job training. So at that, you see they are more practical oriented because they are going to school and they are also working. So with that, it's very advantageous for an individual to also engage in open and distant learning.
Okay, which brings me to this question. And there's a speculation that distance and open learning is for the old.
Okay.
So what do you think about this? That's one. And secondly, would you advise younger generations just coming up to maybe from WAEC, you move to open this? Do you advise young teenagers to go for open distance learning?
Okay, I want to say thank you once again. When you talk of open and distant learning, it has always, from time immemorial, has always faced criticism. I must tell you that. But I think it's an outdated assumption as we speak right now. Okay. In the sense that it divides, it cuts across every divide now. Whether you are an adult or you are young, and because you can take advantage of that, like you also added now. Most times, some persons, the bottleneck of jam is hindering them from going ahead. So at any age limit, you can go and learn. So it's not about you are old or you are young. If I'm to advise young people, there are some young people now, they want to be working, they want to be earning so that they can learn. So in that regard, so they can take advantage of open and distant learning. So it's an outdated assumption to assume it's all for old people, as it's used to seems.
So you can allow your teenager child go for open distance
So we also
learning?
talk about teenager child. There are cases of where young persons are taking advantage of that and they are doing well. Before now, with my experience, a lot of old people used to be there, but recently, with the course, I must confess, I had an encounter of an individual who was in a conventional program, but along the line, the parents were not there to assist, so she opted out for distant program. She was able to be working, a young woman. She was now also going to school. So at that regard, so it's situational and also in nature. If the funds are not there for sponsorship, you can work and go to school. So it should not be a limitation because you're a teenager, you say you not go for open and distant education.
So do they have opportunities for practical aspects of education?
Practical aspect, I think that's one of the upskilling of open and distant learning. You see, the practical aspect is being integrated because it's a requirement now, where they hand-on job experience, where they have to go for practicals, like they have been involved in Sideways program. Okay. Yes, where they go for student industrial work experience scheme. So with that, it's helping them to improve their skills in that regard.
Okay, so they say everything we see has its own pros and cons.
Yes.
What would you say are the challenges of open distance learning?
Okay, for open and distant learning, like you rightly mentioned, we have disadvantages, we have advantages, but one of the challenge of open and distant learning, I think number one I want to mention here is you need self-discipline for you to be involved in open and distant learning, because procrastination is one of the major factors that fight open distant learners. Or maybe I'll read later. So if you are not disciplined, you cannot actually enjoy and make the best of open and distant learning. So you don't need to procrastinate what you are doing. So you need self-discipline in that aspect. Another challenge of open and distant learning, because of the blended and the technology involvement, there's this poor connectivity network problem in terms of online learning now, aspect of the open and distance. There's poor connectivity, and like in our modern times, we have this poor power, this failure, that at times for you to charge your phones, your laptops, maybe when you are going on. I've had cases whereby some persons will be online, see their battery is low, so I know where to really charge. So these are some of the challenges that have been encountered in open and distant learning.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Okay, we have been speaking to Dr. Orunwese James Osase, State Coordinator, National Teachers Institute, Edo State Office, Benin City. Now we'll go on a quick break. When we come back, more to dive into. Stay with us.
Do you live in Aduawa and environs, or you need a conducive and open field in Aduawa for your wedding receptions, birthday parties, annual ceremonies, family or corporate events in a serene and conducive environment that is close to nature? Then look no further. Nta Benin Aduawa is a place for you. Nta Benin Aduawa has a large field for all your events and ceremonies. Also, At NTA Corporate Headquarters, TV Road, we have a state-of-the-art, fully air-conditioned, ultra-modern hall for all kinds of indoor events with a standby generating set, therefore ensuring uninterrupted power supply. We also have NTA Pavilion for all outdoor events at the same venue. Guess what? Our prices are affordable, locations are easily accessible, venues conducive and highly secured. Our outside broadcast van is available 24 hours and can broadcast your events live. And above all, you can air your events on our award-winning program like Events and Style. And any booking on the field or hall gets a bonus of free news coverage. Wow! What are you waiting for? Grab this opportunity and have your celebration in a grand style. For inquiries and bookings, please call Nta Benin, the award-winning station.
Yes, so all the way straight to Mama Miracle. Yes, so yes, so for quality tested material, I say come Mama Miracle. You need them page a shrebi. You know what disappoint you. No be lie.
See clarity, see plenty Ashwebi for Mama Miracle Store. EJ Mama Miracle Store. This one too much. See all kind of waxing, whether na London wax, Nigerian wax, high target, Hollandese, brocade, Kampala, lacy, Yasek hair tie. All day whether for one by one retail or for plenty boku buy of wholesale. Mama Miracle Store, we get all boku. Make you come collect her now. No need to the holla say I want Ashwebi. Now only 20 I see. I not see reach 50. Foul. Mama Miracle Store. It don't get her now. Any kind design where you want it. Any amount of number where you want it. Mama Miracle Store get them. Make you waka enter. See them sit down for the head office 211 Motala Muhammad Way. The story building where they near Ekiosa for 30 Sekula. Mama Miracle Store. This one a big miracle.
You're welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned. All right, sir, let's go further. What is being done to make open distance learning attractive now that there are speculations of it is not too good, it is not advisable? What are those steps and actions taking place to make it attractive in society?
Okay, thank you very much once again. As part of the steps being taken by open and distance education institutions, I want to say the first step is the issue of the blended learning, and the use of technology to upscale the learning process, because we're leveraging on technology. See, there are video lectures. We now have video lectures. We have what we call interactive PDF on the platform. So these are ways you can leverage. And I think this one also attracts younger minds who are computer-based and literate in that aspect. And you have mobile virtual classrooms now on it. It's being introduced into distant learning. Then with your mobile phones, you can have the mobile phone. The notes can be delivered to you with ease. You don't need to carry big books to read. With the mobile phones, you can easily go there. Then also there's an improved learner support system, the use of facilitators. That's why we say the blended learning, where learners can engage. They go to study centers and they can interface with their facilitators, their instructors. Great areas are being made plain to them as they interface with their facilitators. This is another added advantage of distant learning. Then also we'll talk about flexibility in the payment. You see, like in many institutions, you see they create portals for students whereby they can pay in little by little as to clear their payments, the semester wise, not just sectional wise as the case may be. That is also being used in open and distant learning institutions to attract learners into the systems. Then not only that, there are courses that are being run by open and distant learning, industrial based courses where you have digital marketing, you have what we call cybersecurity courses. These are areas of interest that are modern areas that persons need to key in because they are needed in the employers are looking for these areas. So the open and distant learning institutions are key into this aspect to ensure that is attractive to even the younger generation in this aspect.
That's a very good one. Okay, what would you say is the relationship between the JAMB admission bottlenecks and the increase of number of people having to embrace open distance learning?
Okay, thank you very much. Like you use the word bottleneck, I think that's a very good one, because the issue of schooling or getting admission is a matter of supply and demand factor. When you talk about the bottleneck in the JAM issue, you see every year, for example, if you go with statistics, about 1.8 million candidates enroll yearly for JAM, for example. And at the end of the day, due to JAM cutoff, school cutoff marks by institutions, they peg this cutoff. And at the end of the day, only 1/3, that is about 33% of those who apply for JAM have been taken. So where would the rest go? So the ODL the ODL is being put at advantage in that regard for candidates now to seek admission in ODL institutions. And like I earlier mentioned, the cutoff rise now of schools and the limited admission slots in institutions, because many institutions now, because of the hostels, in campuses, they cannot admit, and then you see we give them there's a limit they can admit. But take for example the ODL institutions, we can admit 50,000 students. They don't need to come to campus, so they can be at their place of work, they can be at home, and they are learning. So that's an advantage. So that bottleneck, the ODL institutions are keen into that. Then if I may want to add this, you talk about the cost angle too. If you go through JAM and those who maybe are not able to go into federal universities, they want to go into private universities.
Okay.
Private universities are also costly. This time around, you're talking about from 800,000 to 2 million in some courses. But DL institutions with 200,000 to 400,000, you can run an ODL program. So with that, those bottlenecks, the ODL institutions are taking advantage of that.
Okay, so let's say, how credible are degrees obtainable through ODL institutions?
Okay, thank you once again. The issue of credibility, I will want to look at it in two aspects.
Because I think I would need it to be very, very emphasized, because so viewers can know the importance. Because in society today, when you say ODL, it's like a stigma. Okay. They want to you didn't go to university.
Okay.
So I want you to emphasize on the the credibility of obtaining a degree in that space.
Thank you very much. Like I just started by saying that credibility has to do with the two aspects I want to mention quickly. Number one, talking about the legal recognition. Then not only that, we're talking about the market perception. Now, the first aspect is the legal recognition. You see, any program that is accredited by the National University Commission, the NUC, that alone gives it the legal backing. So whether you get that same course for those courses that have been run in open and distant institutions, once they are accredited and you go through that program successfully, the certificate is as legal like the person that has gone to a conventional university. Then not only that, you also discover that the employer's perception now, and like earlier mentioned, you see, most people who come for open and distance education, they're already working too. So they are just like learning on the job and improving our upskilling. So those certificates acquired are also used for their promotions. So in the public sector as well as private sector, all you need to do is to ensure that the skills that you have gone there to acquire, you have acquired it rightly. So those certificates are legally recognized, even outside the country.
Okay, sir. Let's say, for instance, there is a job opening somewhere.
Okay.
Mr. A has, he has a certificate from ODL Institute, and this other person has a certificate from a conventional university.
Okay.
Who do you think would be picked first?
You see, thank you for that question again. Personally, I've always advocated, once the training process and the skill development process is well taken care of, it's a matter of subjecting those persons, those graduates, to test. Once you put them to test, the ones that have done well, they are taken.
But do you
So
think
not from the surface by saying this one,
Okay.
I have attended a distant learning program, as a result of that you put that aside. That is wrong. Legally it's wrong. But once you give them the leveling playground, let them attend to the test, and once they do well, they are taken. Like I earlier said, open and distant learning, they even, for the fact that technology is also involved, you see, they're already developing skills. So once they go to the market, the labor market, and they're able to perform minimally well, they are taken. So don't judge them based on the fact that they've attended open and distant learning. These are life experiences over the time that I've experienced. They are good. I've also seen, let me come a little for the teaching aspect where I'm involved. I discovered that many a time, those who come for the ODL educational programs, for the fact that they are practicing teachers and now they are coming for the program, they now do better because they are learning, they are practicing, they are learning, they are practicing. So their skills have been developed. And in such cases, take for example, if that person has been in the private sector engagement and now is trying to move for a government, all you need to do, subject such persons to test. And once they go for that test and they're able to perform, they even perform very well. You can quote me anytime, any day.
I hold your words for it. Okay, courses like engineering, medicine, and nursing.
Okay.
Would you advise an ODL learning?
Okay, thank you. For courses like engineering, medicine, and nursing, I want to say here, for now, the ODL cannot give you 100% in that regard.
There we go.
But the competencies through ODL, that is through ODL alone. You see, that's why if you look at it, that some of the improvement in the ODL is trying to engage in what we call work on hand experience. So the practical aspect of it, where learners. But I think one area that I want to emphasize here, which I've seen a lot of persons in that field, is take for example in nursing. For those who go for BSc nursing, you know, before now, many of them are registered nurses and they are working and they have the practical experience. So now they are going to get the theoretical knowledge more in a more higher form through ODL. A lot of them are in the Open University and they've passed through and acquired their BSc in nursing. In the other areas, maybe in the medical aspect, I know there are a lot of universities, Open Universities, they are talking about what we call like, okay, let me mention like the engineering. They are now keen to what we call the CAD, the computer adaptive designs, using the 3D, 4D method in simulation to train engineers. I know it's not easy, but they have to still go for hands-on practice in the area of engineering. It's only in the medicine, and I know for now NUC is clamping on that because the more of such courses need practicals, which is in the area of engineering and medicine. But I think the nurses are scaling through because most of them are registered nurses before they go for the BSc in nursing. As for the nursing, I know that one is scaling through for now.
Okay, sir. So with so many Nigerian academics leaving the country, can open distance learning be used as a tool to engage them in teaching?
Yes, I think the first answer there is yes. You know, in the course of this discussion, we mentioned that open and distant learning leverage on technology. And for the fact that these persons are outside the country, cannot deter them from tapping from their knowledge. And they discovered that it's already happening in small scale anyway, through ODL institutions and in the Nigerian education system. And for the fact that even outside the country, some of them are now being exposed more in terms of technology, in terms of advancement. So the ODL can leverage on that to help to be facilitators of ODL students and institutions.
Okay, even as we round up this segment of the program, what is your advice to those interested in ODL institution?
Okay. Well, I want to say my advice is that you can take advantage of the ODL program. All you need to do is to be disciplined. And you need to take the course as a real course, which it is a real course. You see, like Yuela said, because of this stigma of ODL programs, many people want to be going for the program with laxity. But if you take it serious, you put in your best, you're able to discipline yourself and get focused. And not only that, acquire the needed skills. Once you're able to acquire the needed skills, the ODL program is a welcome learning process for would-be candidates.
Thank you very much, sir, and thank you so much for coming to give us clarity on what ODL really means. All right, we've been speaking to Mr. Orumese James Osasei, State Coordinator, National Teacher Institute, Edo State Office, Benin City. Remember, don't be ignorant. Be disciplined. That's the only way you can achieve success in open distance learning. All right, now we'll go on a quick break. When we come back, more to dive into in our segment. Stay with us.
Are you in Benin City and environs looking for an exquisite home away from home? Bronze Royal Hotels, located on Abuava Road, is the right place for you. With its spacious and highly secured environment, Bronze Royal Hotels offers lodging services in Royal Suite, Classic Suite, Deluxe Suite, VIP Lounge, and lots more, all at affordable rate. There is also a bar, pool bar, gym, restaurant, and a club within the comfort of the hotel. At Bronze Royal Hotels, 24 hours uninterrupted power supply and free internet Wi-Fi is assured. For bookings and reservations, please visit us at number 121 Akwapava Road, Benin City, or call us on 080-340-72030 or 080-55103539. Bronze Royal Hotels, a place of ultimate luxury experience.
I see trees of green.
Experience comfort, luxury and beauty in and out. When you spend a suits and rooms, as your pleasure is our task to fulfill. Find the greatest relaxation in our gardens, VIP lounge and restaurants, exquisite conference hall for meetings and seminars. Indeed, what a beautiful world at Gabano Hotels and Resorts.
What a wonderful world.
Visit us today at 3 Urbano Avenue off Benin Lagos Expressway, Benin City. Telephone 081 00438202. Gabano.
What a wonderful world.
You're welcome back to our segment. Now we are moving forward to Advil, and we have Gilly in Advil. Let's see Gilly.
Gele is a traditional Nigerian stiff-in hair tie worn by women. It shows a fashionable and elegant statement when it comes to various occasions. It is often crafted from fabrics that can hold rigid and can come in different volume and shapes.
Gele is that headgear that you put on your head to complement your dressing. Your dressing, especially when you are going for an occasion. We use ashoke to make gele. We have different type of ashoke. We have the metallics. We have the one they call the Davido. There are different types of ashoke in the market. And also we have the Sego gele. We have the metallics gele. Oh, the metallics gele is the one that is even trending now. It's so beautiful and it's fine. By the time you tie it on your hair for that your occasion, oh, the bride will look so bright for the groom.
It should be known that gele serves as a profound symbol of African femininity, cultural pride, and artistic expression. It is a definitive crown of a woman's traditional attire.
Moving to the world of entertainment, a lot has been happening in the world of entertainment this week, but we picked the top stories for you, so see what has happened this week in Entertainment Gist. Ashaka's latest album, Money, has reached the summit of the United Kingdom Apple Music chart, thus making his fifth album to achieve this milestone. He also becomes the first African to have 5 albums occupy the top position of the chart, which captures his dominance as one of the most commercially successful stars in Africa pop music. His latest album, Money, was released on May 1st, 2026 and packs 13 songs with guest appearance from French pop star Taikola, global producer DJ Snake, South African icon musician and producer Kabaz the Small. The album, like the previous body of work, features a blend of genres as Ashake spends the bulk of the time expressing gratitude, restating his imperfections and individuality while making positive proclamations about wealth and success. Money is the largest produced by Ashake's long-term collaboration Magic Sticks, who produced his debut Mr. Money with the Vibes and his Sophomore LP Work of Art. Still talking about Afrobeat, the music genre has grown to become a globally recognized with record-breaking songs, chart-topping hits, and international superstar headlines icon stages. Back in 2017, Afrobeat streams on Spotify barely registered globally. By 2024, the genre has generated over 14 billion streams in a year, growing by 550% over a decade. This has helped Nigerian artists earn $2.5 million in royalties have been generated. That doesn't account for shows, CD sales, merchandise, and so forth. A few artists have helped boost globalization. Burna Boy, for example, was the first African artist to headline the UK stadium. Rema's Calm Down is also the first African-led track with more than 1 billion streams. Welcome back. Now we move to news highlights. Let's see what happened in our society this week on Weekly Highlights. The Senate was resolved to constitute a joint committee on Senate and the House of Representatives to address the rising case of xenophobia attacks against Nigerians in South Africa. The committee, to be led by the chairman of the National Assembly, will undertake a fact-finding and diplomatic visit to South Africa aimed at finding out lasting solution to the crisis. As part of its mandate, the delegation is expected to visit South Africa Parliament to formally express Nigerians' strong displeasure over the reported attacks. The Senate also planned to write to the Speaker of the South African Parliament as well to invite the Minister of Foreign Affairs to brief lawmakers on the outcome of their engagement. Now in Edo State, residents of charismatic road off Ekenwan Road in Benin City are happy as the road fixing, which happens to be their major, and the adjoining road in the axis has redefined the socio-economic lives of residents. They made this known to MTN News when Governor Monday Okpebolo paid an unscheduled visit to to inspect ongoing projects in that axis. The charismatic road project, now at 90% completion, is among the other projects awarded by the state government in Edo South Senatorial District. The first section has laid with concrete, while the remaining sketch has been dealt with. Drainage works have also been concluded, including 2 water retention ponds on either sides of the road. We have got some sport review for you. See what's happened this week in the world of sport.
The Confederation of African Football, CAF, has officially announced the kickoff and final dates for the historic African Cup of Nations 2027, which will be jointly hosted by Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. In a statement released by the football body, the opening match of the tournament will take place on Saturday, 19 June 2027, while the finals is scheduled for Saturday, 17th July 2027. Branded Pamoja 2027, the tournament represents a landmark moment in African football, as it will be the first time African Cup of Nations is co-hosted by 3 nations, yet a result of Champions League matches played. And that's it for Sport Rail.
On this note, we have come to the end of Morning Delight this week. Remember that ignorance is no good in distance learning. Just be disciplined and you will just do it right, and you will stand out even amongst your equals. Remember, the Morning Delight airs every Saturday at 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and with a repeat broadcast every Friday at same time, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. You can also watch us live on our social media handles, YouTube, Facebook. Catch us up with other missed content. Yes, my name is Praise Audio, and on this note I say goodbye and have a wonderful weekend.
Tired of power failure and high electricity bills? It's time to switch to reliable solar energy with Magic Global Tech, major distributors of solar and electronics. At Magic Global Tech, we deal in various high-quality lithium-ion batteries from up to 30 kilowatts, AGM and tubular batteries built to last and deliver maximum performance. We have various brands and capacities of solar inverters, brand new high-voltage solar panels, foreign use panels, half-quart and biophysical solar panels, all tested and trusted. For your safety and monitoring needs, we offer solar-powered CCTV cameras, single lens, dual and triple lens solar, and non-solar wired CCTV cameras. Need power on the go? Check out our all-in-one solar generator.